Hi and welcome. In today's demo, we are going to showcase aarna.ml GPU cloud management software integration with Monetize360 billing system. From an end user experience perspective, this integration is really very seamless. That means the end user does not need to change between the screens of these two products. But aarna.ml GPU CMS provides a single pane of glass to access all the billing related features and functionalities. There are three personas involved in this demo today. There is an NCP admin who is a super user of the entire AI cloud infrastructure. And then there is a tenant admin under it. And finally, tenant users under the tenant admin. So it will all start with NCP admin as part of step number one, defining the pricing in the catalog. So there would be various flavors that the end user might subscribe to, and there would be pricing associated with it. So NCP admin would state the pricing as step number one. And then thereon is step number two, NCP admin is going to create tenant admin and tenant users. And after that, as part of step number three, the tenant users actually allocates the resources for its usage, and the pricing has already been defined as part of step number one. And then as step number four, we will see that the tenant admin, whenever it wants, it can uh, uh, trigger the invoice generation for the period that it is interested in. And then once the invoices are generated, finally, as part of step number five, we'll see that the tenant users are able to see the generated invoices under their login. With this background, let's now go over the demo. So I have logged in as an NCP admin, and we have discovered the underlying topology, which is comprising a few GPU compute nodes and a leaf, spine and core architecture. And all the underlay configurations has also been done. So let's now start with defining the pricing in the catalog. So this is the catalog that we see. Let's give some hourly price and let's save it. So when we are saving it at the backend with the integration with Monetize360, we are able to create a catalog and a pricing in the backend billing system as well. So we have stated the pricing for the catalog. Let's add the new tenant. Let's create the first tenant. This is actually the tenant admin. We are giving the billing frequency, invoicing frequency and other details. And let's add the tenant admin. Let's create a second tenant admin so that we can showcase two tenants. Where in a very similar way, we are creating a second tenant admin. As you can see here, there are two tenant admins. Now we need to create the tenant user under each tenant admin. Now this ideally would be created by the tenant admin itself, since the NCP admin has created those tenant admins. But for simplicity, let's just create through the existing NCP admin credentials. So creating the user for the first tenant, and then we are creating the user for the second tenant. Now, when these users are getting created at the backend, uh, actually an invite goes to the users for the sign up procedure. Again, for simplicity, we are not showing that. You will see those two invited users under those respective tenant admins. Let's log out and let's assume that the tenant user has signed up, and we'll go with the first tenant user login. And here our task is to allocate the resources with whatever billing the NCP has decided for us. So let's go. Let's allocate a bare metal with a fixed template. Let's select the bare metal flavor that is available in the catalog. Select the operating system, the CUDA version, number of servers. Here we are giving 2 servers. The pricing that has been decided by the NCP admin, and just say allocate. So since 2 servers we have asked for, those two servers are getting provisioned. Yeah, the provisioning is success. So we have completed the tasks for the first tenant user. Let's log out and then log in for the second tenant user, and let's repeat the same thing. Basically it is a very similar thing where we'll go and allocate a bare metal instance. Let's select the fixed template, bare metal server, the OS, the CUDA versions, and let's say we just keep one server for us and say allocate. So that server is getting provisioned for us. Yeah, you can see that it is success. Let's also now for this user go and see what is available in the billing. You can see the integration with Monetize360. So you're able to see the single pane, so you don't need to go to Monetize360 screens. But here through aarna.ml GPU CMS, you can see the Monetize360 related features here. There are no active invoices since we just got the resources allocated. So yeah, let's log out and then come to the NCP admin now, because NCP admin would now need to generate the invoices because the resources have been allocated and probably the tenant users are using those resources. So let's go to the billing. Here again you will see the integration with Monetize360. So we are making available Monetize360 features through aarna.ml CMS UI. Let's go to the intelligence hub, and there are various data pipelines, so which essentially states how to collect the usage metrics and generate the invoices. So we have an existing CMS usage processing there. Let's trigger that. So let's specify the start and end date for which the invoices needs to be generated, and at the back end the Monetize360 is going to query all the usage metrics for this particular tenant and for all the resources that it is allocated. So you can see that it is success. Let's go and exactly what happened, the execution history. Let's expand that. Let's view the log. So in short, what you can see is at the back end, Monetize360 got all the usage metrics and it did the billing and the invoices were generated. So now the invoice generation has happened. So let's log out from the NCP admin and log in as a tenant user and see whether we are able to see those invoices that the tenant admin had generated. Let's go to the billing. You can see the active invoices. You can see these two invoices. These two invoices are for those two compute nodes that this tenant user had subscribed to. Let's click on that invoice. You can see all the details of these invoices. And there is also a functionality to download the invoice. So there you can see, I was just wanting to download the invoice, and let's open that invoice. Yeah, so a standard invoice format you can see here. So that's how first tenant user got to see the invoice for his usage. Let's do a similar activity for the second tenant user. Let's log in as a second user. A very similar thing that this first tenant user did. Let's go to the billing section. You can see the active invoices. Here you can see only one invoice. This tenant user had only one compute resource allocated. So again, he goes and clicks to see the invoice details. and again similarly he can download the invoice. That was all in this demo. Thank you very much for watching.